again. Um, it's another day on childcare. Last week we talked about child security or child safety or child protection. And last week I said that this topic is very dear to my heart, and so I would bring some more tips on how the kids will know how to protect themselves independently. Parents, the family is the first line of protection for children. For that reason, parents and caregivers should make sure that they build a loving and a very protective home environment for the children. So last week we learned 4 tips on how our children can protect themselves independently. Today I would like to add a few more, depending on our time. The first point I would like to add today is that we should teach our children not to keep secrets. We should teach them not to keep secrets, especially things that are bad. People might do bad things and tell them not to expose those things to anybody. We should teach them at their age they don't have to keep secrets for anybody. They need to expose any bad behavior, any naughty behavior that they are exposed to or that they come across. This reminds me of a young girl of class 2. This girl had a father who was out of the country, and so the father gave her to his brother. Unfortunately for this little girl, class 2 girl, the father's brother was sleeping with her. But the father's brother told her that she shouldn't tell anybody else you die. You know that story that we keep hearing from people. If you tell them this, you die.
I'll kill you.
Yes, until one day her teacher was teaching in class, and the teacher told them that if anybody does something to you which is bad, if somebody is doing this thing to you, don't be afraid, don't care about whatever they tell you, report them to your parents and all that. And so when this girl heard this, she got to know that what that man was actually saying wasn't the truth. And so that gave her the confidence. And then later on, she told the teacher about it, that this is what I am going through in the house. So the teacher took it up, reported the case, and then the necessary actions were taken against this man. You see that if we don't teach them not to keep secrets, there are certain things that might be hurting or harming them, but they wouldn't be able to voice them out. So we need to teach them that at your age, you don't have to keep anybody's secret for them. If they don't want anybody to hear about that thing, then they shouldn't tell you. Because if only you see it and it's bad, you are going to...
Sorry for interruption. I'd wanted to ask this last week. Which year exactly?
The development of children is relative.
Okay, it depends.
Yes, some people at the age of 2, they have started talking. They have started, Ohima like this knows my name. She knows, yes, she knows her father's name.
Okay.
There are certain,
and she's like 2?
2 years. But there are some at the age of even 3, depending on the environment that they grew up.
Okay.
And so it depends on how the child develops and how exposed the child is. So when you look at your child and you feel that at this age, at this stage, you can feed the child with this information, then you shouldn't relent at all. Right there, you should start feeding the child with the necessary information that the child needs. So I will not give a specific age because the development of a child is relative. It depends on how every child develops. Yes. So the first point,
you the parents, you need to be very, very careful, or you should pay attention.
That is why you need to be proactive.
Yeah.
You need to study your child
of
to
course,
know the
you've
child.
learned that already.
Yes. Yeah. That is why you need to study the child and you know when to say what, when not to say what.
Okay.
Yes. And then we also have to teach them that whenever you are working with your parents and you get lost, stay at the very point you realize that you are lost.
Okay.
So let's say you went to the mall and at a point in time you couldn't find your mother, you couldn't find your father or whoever you were
Okay,
with.
Mommy, so give us something close, something related to us, something
like,
close, like within attachment setting.
In the market.
In the market.
There is a more attachment to
Malcolm.
Malcolm is here. Yes, don't forget
Malcolm.
that.
Yeah.
So let's say in the market.
In the market.
Or maybe you are following your mother to anywhere and you realize that you are lost. Just stay where you are. Don't start looking for her. Because now when you are holding a key and you misplace the key, how do you find the key? You go to the various places that you were with the key. So definitely your mother will go back to wherever she went with you to look for you. But when you also decide to look for her, it means that she will miss you. She might come back to where you were with her, but she might not find you. So wandering around looking for her will even worsen the situation. Rather, you need to stay the very place that you realized you were lost.
Okay. Mommy, let's go.
You need to stay the very place that you realized that you were lost. And so we need to teach them all of these petty things.
Yes.
We also have to teach them that they shouldn't disclose certain personal information.
Okay.
Some informations are very personal.
Example.
And so they shouldn't disclose them. Example, your name, your age. Sometimes, children play and talk about everything. Sometimes they may be playing and they will tell, hey, today my mother brought a lot of money to the house.
It's true.
You see, that information is supposed to be personal. Maybe you might not know whom you are disclosing that fact to, but the person that you are disclosing that fact to might not be the right person to disclose it to.
So in the first place, must the parent reveal that secret to their child?
The parent might not necessarily reveal it to the child, but perhaps the child saw it.
Okay.
They see so many things.
They sometimes search their mother's bag.
Yes, sometimes we take them to be kids, and so there are so many things we don't hide from them. Like you bring money to the house, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, you might not think she knows anything, so you will decide to hide it, or you might not decide. Yes, so the important thing is that we should tell them not to disclose certain personal information, either on the internet or by word of mouth or whichever way. When they are growing up too, they disclose so many things on the internet. Sometimes they take a video of their rooms, the way their house looks like, and then they post them on the internet. Yes, when you do that, anybody who wants to attack will have easy access, because you have already shown the person how the place looks like. And so penetrating to your privacy wouldn't be anything difficult for that fellow to do. And so we need to also take care of that issue. And then also we need to teach them certain tiny things on how to protect themselves, especially when it is raining. Like I told you the last time, we should teach them that whenever there is a rainstorm, you need to find a place to lodge, find a place to sit, wait for the rain to calm down before you decide to continue with wherever you are going. We should also teach them dangerous things. There are things that are dangerous, so teach them to respect those things. In other words, teach them to fear those things. For example, knives. For example, electricity, matches. All those things can harm them. And then dangerous weapons. I watched a movie. This boy picked his father's gun. He saw the father use the gun to threaten his neighbor. Afterwards, the father placed the gun recklessly. So he picked the gun, hid it in his bag, and took it to school. On his way to school, he met his friend and told his friend, I have a gun. So the friend said, oh, what do you mean? Where is the gun? Let me see. Then he showed him the gun. So they were struggling. Oh, let me see. They were struggling to get the gun.
There was bullet in it.
Yes. While they were struggling, one of them pressed it. And there was an innocent man standing beside the street by his car. Then the gun shot the man and killed him. Yes, you see? So if this man had hidden it well, even if he hadn't hidden it well, when he placed it recklessly, the boy could have told the father that, Daddy, you put your gun here, because the father has made it known to him that this is a dangerous weapon which is not supposed to be used by a boy at your age. So now we need to teach them all of these things to help them identify and respond to potential dangers, and make choices in different situations. When we do that, I think that we are helping them to acquire skills and knowledge that will help them to fight different issues. And the moment they are able to fight those issues, or whenever there is a problem approaching them, there is a danger approaching them, and they are able to stand and fight those things, you see that it boosts their confidence, and also their it gives them resilience, because they know that when this thing comes, I'm able to do it. You know, even as an adult, when there is a challenging issue and then finally you are able to solve it, you see, it gives you, yes, even just this morning when I saw the things that I had to wash, I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? But after washing all of those things, I felt so like proud. Yes, the whole world was carried off, yes, off my head. So even as adults, when we are able to come out of those issues, yes, that is why we need to teach them all of these tips, all of these guidelines, so that independently, when we are not with them, they can take good care of themselves. Thank you for having me.
Thank you too, Mommy. I'm so proud to have you on the show, because you're making impact each and every Saturday. We are so blessed to have you. Thank you very much. That was Mrs. Adwoa Asantewaa Korsah, a teacher at TES Model Basic, then also a pastor's wife, in other words, Asaf Mami, and also a parent. She's also a child expert, so she has it all.
You have decided to give me that title.
And more titles.